basically just cooking. We're shallow frying some food on our hot plate. We finished cooking and we'd left the kitchen. We heard a sound coming from the kitchen. As I raced into the kitchen, I saw that the saucepan was still sitting on the hot plate and it was on fire. And I grabbed a tea towel on the way through and I threw it over the top of the saucepan. And then all I heard was Bonnie who'd raced over to the door and she was just saying, "Get it out, get it out." And then I picked it up and started carrying it out to the door where Bonnie was standing. And as I got to the door, the tea towel had slipped and fallen off the top of the saucepan. And what happened was that the oil inside the saucepan reignited, and as it did that, it fired another cone straight out of the saucepan that I was sort of holding at chest level. And what that did was burn the whole right side of my face. And as I reeled back to get away from that, I kind of tipped backwards and the saucepan came down and burnt both my hands.
He dropped the saucepan and this barrel of fire just came up, and all through the doorway all I could see was just flames, and I could hear Aaron screaming.
Just add injury to insult, the oil fell on the ground, so I slipped over in the oil. I just remember thinking, this is really bad, this is really, really bad. And I put my hands up in front of me and looked at them, and all I could see was just the skin on my left hand just melting and falling down.
And then when the flames started to subside and I, had a second to think, I was like, my house is on fire and my husband is on fire in my house. This is it. This is my worst nightmare come true. And it was honestly the most horrific moment of my life. Sorry.
I had third-degree burns over my left hand, or what they call full thickness burns now. They're not called third degree anymore, it's full thickness. And I had third and second degree burns on my right hand and down my right leg. I was in hospital for a total of 5 days. We have a little boy. He was 18 months at the time. Fortunately, he wasn't home. I couldn't have imagined. I just couldn't have imagined what it would have been like having him around.
When Aaron came home from the hospital, he was obviously quite limited with the things he could do. He couldn't shower, he couldn't cook, obviously, he couldn't dress himself, he couldn't do a lot of things because he just couldn't use his hands at all, and even his legs sometimes. We have a very active 2-year-old who loves his dad very, very much and loves to play with him and roughhouse with him. So it was very difficult because we had to restrict how much access Lachlan had to Aaron because we were afraid that he was going to aggravate Aaron's injuries.
That just cut me. We had such great support throughout the whole ordeal. We didn't feel that we had to try and expedite healing. You know, they said, look, whatever you need, you come to us with. You just ask what you need and we'll make it happen. My attitude towards safety was, look, I've mowed the lawn in thongs, done things at home that I know I shouldn't. I had a couple of beers and then getting up ladders and pulling things off top shelves, and at home you're always more likely to take the shortcut or do something that you don't really think about, and didn't have the appropriate PPE. We didn't have the right stuff. We didn't have a fire blanket. We didn't have a fire extinguisher. The extinguisher is $19. The fire blanket is $9.90.
I think when you're at home, you're a lot more complacent. Just taking that extra time to just really make sure that you're taking precautions at home is really, really important. It's not just important at work, it's important at home as well.
This incident has just polarised how important it is to be safe at home and in everything that you do. Bonnie and I were cooking at home.